The story opens on a shattered battlefield, filled with smoke, debris, and the ruins of destroyed ships and machines. Earth's soldiers, led by a brave warrior named Jake, are on a critical mission that's dangerous and filled with tension. The scene paints a picture of high-tech warfare. There are cloaking devices that make them nearly invisible, and AI-guided drones scanning for threats, making the situation feel futuristic and intense. Jake, known for his courage and quick thinking, is leading a small team of elite soldiers. Their mission is simple yet deadly. They must infiltrate a massive alien fortress where an important figure, an alien princess, is held captive. She belongs to a race that's peaceful and wise, but has no match against the advanced and hostile alien empire that took her prisoner. Earth's leaders believe that rescuing this princess could turn the tide of war by forming an alliance with her people. But they have very little time to pull it off, only a few minutes before enemy reinforcements arrive. Jake and his team carefully advance through the dark corridors of the alien base, staying close to the shadows. They activate their cloaking devices, which create a shimmering effect around their bodies, blending them with the surroundings. Each step is taken with extreme caution, knowing one wrong move could get them caught. The fortress is filled with high-tech security, including surveillance cameras and sensor-activated doors that could expose them if they're not careful. The air is thick with tension as they move forward, their every step echoing in the silent halls. They are in enemy territory, deep inside a hostile base where one wrong sound or one wrong move could mean death. Jake signals his team to stay low and quiet, communicating through hand gestures instead of speaking. Even a whisper could trigger the sensors. Just as they reach the heart of the fortress, where the princess is likely being held, the team's cloaking devices begin to glitch. Small flashes of light and sudden flickers give away their positions for split seconds. Jake's heart races as he notices the faint shimmering of his teammates' outlines. Their cloaking technology, which they'd counted on to keep them hidden, is now failing at the worst possible time. An AI-supervised security system designed to detect even the slightest anomaly controls the fortress's defenses. Red lights start blinking as the system senses something unusual. Alarms might start blaring any second, and if that happens, escape would be nearly impossible. Jake's team members exchange worried glances, realizing they are on the verge of being discovered. Jake quickly signals his team to find cover behind massive alien statues and storage crates lining the corridor. They press themselves flat against the cold metal, barely breathing, hoping to avoid detection. Every second feels like an eternity. They hear the hum of patrolling drones getting closer, their sensors sweeping the room with laser-like precision. Jake feels the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. One mistake could cost them not only their lives, but also the chance to save the princess and secure an alliance. As the drones pass by, Jake notices a small panel on the wall nearby. It seems to be a manual override for the security system, a risky option, but possibly their only chance. He crawls silently toward the panel, using every bit of skill and training he has to avoid being seen. With trembling hands, he punches in a code he memorized before the mission, hoping it will temporarily disable the alarms. Just as he finishes, the AI system resets, and the red lights fade away. They have a brief window before the system reboots and starts scanning again. Jake signals his team to move quickly. They don't have much time left. They reach the reinforced door of the cell where the princess is held. Jake glances at his watch. Only 2 minutes left. He sets up a small explosive charge to break through the lock, knowing that the sound will be loud but unavoidable. His team takes position, ready to face whatever might be inside. The door blasts open, and through the smoke, Jake catches a glimpse of the alien princess, an ethereal figure with shimmering skin and wide, frightened eyes. She's visibly shocked at the sight of humans, unsure whether to trust them. Jake gives her a reassuring nod, silently promising her safety. But just as he steps forward to help her, the fortress's alarms blare, signaling that their time is up. Jake and his team rush into the holding cell where Princess Lyra, the alien they came to save, is waiting. Lyra is breathtakingly beautiful with features that seem almost ethereal. Her skin shimmers faintly, and her eyes glow with a soft light, betraying both her fear and curiosity. She has never seen a human before, and her people have only ever spoken of humanity with disdain. To her, humans are cruel, heartless beings focused on warfare and conquest. She stands frozen, uncertain whether to trust her would-be rescuers. Jake notices her hesitation and quickly motions for his team to lower their weapons, showing they mean her no harm. He takes a step closer, trying to convey with his expression alone that he is here to help. Lyra's eyes narrow as she observes him, still wary but sensing a gentleness in him that doesn't fit the image of ruthless humans she has grown up hearing about. Just then, one of Jake's teammates trips a hidden sensor, triggering a deadly trap. The walls start to close in, and an array of lasers activates, aimed directly at Jake's team. In an instant, without thinking twice, Jake throws himself in harm's way to shield his teammate from the incoming lasers. He pushes his comrade to the ground, taking a grazing hit on his own shoulder. Lyra watches this unfold, her heart pounding. She is shocked by Jake's selfless act, risking his own life to protect another. This single moment shatters her preconceptions about humans. She had thought of them as cold and merciless, yet here is one willing to sacrifice himself to save someone else. For the first time, she feels an emotional connection with a human. Lyra realizes that beneath their fierce exteriors, humans are capable of empathy, courage, and even kindness. Jake's bravery and compassion ignite a spark within her, and she finds herself beginning to trust him. As Jake stands up, wincing from the pain in his shoulder, he meets her gaze and gives her a reassuring nod. He motions for her to follow him, and despite her doubts, she feels a strange sense of safety in his presence. Lyra steps forward, deciding to trust Jake and his team, her fear slowly giving way to hope. With alarms blaring and the entire fortress on high alert, Jake, Princess Lyra, and his team sprint down the dark, narrow corridors, knowing they are now in a race against time. Their escape path is crawling with AI-driven alien robots and fast-moving drones, each armed with advanced weaponry. The air is filled with the hum of high-tech machinery, adding to the tension as they move. Every step is perilous, and each turn could lead them straight into the line of fire. Jake stays close to Lyra, guiding her and making sure she's safe. His team forms a defensive line, covering each other as they fight their way forward. The alien robots are relentless, programmed to eliminate any intruders, and their weapons are far more advanced than anything Jake's team has seen before. Bright beams of energy slice through the air, just missing them as they dodge and weave, returning fire when they can. The intensity of the combat grows as they encounter more robots and drones. Jake's team, though outmatched in technology, relies on their grit, quick reflexes, and solid teamwork. They take down enemies using a combination of precise shots, clever traps, and their knowledge of the alien base's layout. Despite the overwhelming odds, Jake's determination never wavers. He knows that getting Lyra out of there is crucial, not just for their mission, but for the hope of a future alliance between her people and humanity. As they near the fortress's outer edge, the ground begins to shake, and the sky outside darkens. Suddenly, an orbital bombardment commences, a ruthless tactic by the alien forces to prevent their escape. Explosions erupt around them, shaking the entire structure as massive beams of energy rain down from above. The bombardment leaves craters in the ground and shatters walls, turning everything into a scene of chaos and destruction. Jake quickly spots a small bunker nearby. He grabs Lyra's hand and leads her and his team inside just as another blast hits nearby, sending debris flying. Inside the bunker, they huddle close, feeling the intense heat and hearing the sounds of the fortress crumbling around them. The walls shake, and dust fills the air as the bombardment continues, leaving destruction in its wake. As the smoke clears, Jake glances at Lyra, who is visibly shaken but trying to stay strong. He gives her a reassuring nod, silently promising to see her safely through this. Lyra, now deeply moved by Jake's courage and resilience, feels a newfound hope that maybe, just maybe, humans are the allies her people have been waiting for. With a determined look, she nods back, ready to trust him completely in their fight for survival. As they navigate the maze of corridors in a final push to escape, Jake and his remaining team members find themselves in an increasingly desperate situation. Their cloaking system, which had shielded them from alien sensors, begins to fail. Lights flicker on their devices, indicating imminent failure. Jake knows that, without cloaking, they're exposed, and the alien forces will close in on them at any moment. Suddenly, they hear the mechanical march of alien soldiers approaching fast, backed by relentless drones sweeping the area. Jake assesses their position and realizes that there's no time to escape together. The aliens are closing in too quickly. He takes a deep breath, knowing he must make a decision to ensure Princess Lyra's safety. Turning to Lyra, Jake speaks urgently. "There's only one way to give you a chance. I'll draw their attention and lead them away from here." His voice is steady, but Lyra can see the resolve in his eyes. She shakes her head, understanding what he's implying, but unable to accept it. "Jake, you can't do this. You'll be captured or worse," she says, her voice wavering with a mixture of shock and disbelief. Jake manages a reassuring smile despite the danger. "This isn't about me. You're the future for your people and maybe ours too. I won't let them take that chance away." His words carry a calm conviction that leaves Lyra speechless. And for the first time, she glimpses the depth of humanity's compassion and bravery, qualities she never knew existed in them. He steps forward, giving her a gentle push toward the escape route. "Go," he urges, "while there's still time." Without another word, Jake dashes into the open, deliberately making noise to lure the alien forces away from her. Lyra watches, torn between fleeing and staying, as he sacrifices his safety to ensure hers. The alien forces immediately focus on Jake, firing as he races down another corridor, leading them far from Lyra. His figure fades into the distance, and Lyra's heart aches at the realization of his selflessness. No one had ever risked so much for her before. She had always believed her people to be superior, but in this moment she feels humbled, deeply moved by Jake's sacrifice. With tears in her eyes, Lyra whispers a silent promise to herself. She will carry his bravery with her, remembering this act as proof that humans possess a rare strength and kindness worth protecting. With a heavy heart, she turns and runs, determined to honor Jake's sacrifice by surviving, and by one day uniting their two worlds. Just when Jake believes he's reached his final moments, bracing himself as the alien forces close in, a sudden blast shakes the ground. In the next instant, reinforcements from Earth arrive, taking the aliens by surprise. Earth's soldiers, armed with powerful weaponry and advanced tactics, sweep through the alien base, quickly overpowering the guards and drones closing in on Jake. Jake looks up, exhausted and battered, as his comrades reach him. Relief floods his face as they pull him to his feet, their mission clear: to get both Jake and the alien Princess Lyra out of the hostile fortress safely. They lead Jake toward the extraction point, and soon after they find Lyra, who had been watching anxiously from a hidden spot. Her eyes light up with relief upon seeing Jake alive, her gratitude evident. She steps forward, an unspoken connection passing between them, a shared experience of danger, sacrifice, and survival that has brought them closer than she ever imagined possible. Back on Earth, Lyra is treated with respect and care, and she begins to see humans in a new light. Jake's selfless actions and the bravery of the Earth forces have shattered her previous beliefs about humanity. She reflects on her people's long-held misconceptions about humans as weak, heartless beings. In reality, they've proven to be resilient, compassionate, and fiercely loyal. In a private moment, Lyra expresses her gratitude to Jake. "I had always heard stories of human cruelty and selfishness," she admits, her voice soft yet filled with newfound respect. "But you risked everything to protect me, someone you didn't even know. I'll never forget it." Jake smiles, a hint of humility in his expression. "I couldn't let them hurt you. It's what we do. We look out for one another. Maybe our worlds aren't so different after all." With a new understanding of humanity, Lyra makes a life-changing decision. She vows to return to her homeworld and challenge her people's views of humans, advocating for a peaceful alliance. She envisions a future where their races could work together, combining their strengths to face the vast challenges of the galaxy. As she departs Earth, a quiet bond lingers between Jake and Lyra. A bond built on trust, admiration, and a hope for a united future. The story closes on a hopeful note, with both of them dreaming of a day when their worlds would stand side by side, bound not by fear, but by friendship and mutual respect.